What's up, party people? It's your boy Tyrant back in here with a live commentary after, I don't know, probably some years. It's been forever since I've done a live com. And just know I'm not going to explain myself, that I'm doing things the lazy way, but forgive me if, you know, this wasn't edited or anything like that. I haven't gotten that far away from me doing the live recordings here. That's basically what I'm testing out, is if you guys even like this or want to see more content from me like this. So I'm just doing a little bit of an overlay screen recording. This here is a search and destroy gameplay. I believe the final score is 32-5, so not super impressive, not, you know, nothing to scoff at either though. And this is a game known as Combat Master. It's been out for about a year, but I just discovered it yesterday. So about 28 hours ago, and I already have 10 hours of game time. I am addicted. Now, I don't know if you can form an addiction in only one day. I haven't played it today, I only played it yesterday, but I binged it for the entire time until I went to sleep after I found out what it was, other than like a couple breaks here and there to potty and eat and make sure the kids are alive, all that stuff, right? So here's the thing. I love this game, and I can tell it's already going to be, I'm forming an unhealthy addiction. I'll be playing a lot of it in the future. But I want to make this a first impressions video. It's not going to be so much a deep dive overview of everything you can learn about the game, but I do want to tell you why I love it so much, and you know, why I think you should you know, pick it up and discover it as well. So let's just get into, for those of you that haven't been following me, you know, all these years or way back in the day, my love for first-person shooters really began with Halo and eventually Halo CE on the PC. This is a PC gameplay as well, although I am basically a controller. I would say I'm unable to play FPS on mouse and keyboard because I haven't done it in so long, since the Halo Custom Edition days back in like 07 to 09 when I played it. But you know, I picked up on some skill sets in that area over the past day or so, but I'm primarily a controller guy, and so I will be attempting to play this with controller very soon, and I'll give you my thoughts on that as well. There's really only 3 weapons that I've had, you know, extensive experience with. That being this weapon here. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I'm just going to call it the MP5 for all intensive sake. The AK-47, and one of the snipers, I believe the R700, which I just, you know, maybe I played a handful of games with that one. I'm not a big sniper guy. I was in Modern Warfare 2, but the original one, but not so much, you know, never really been a sniper guy. So, but I did, you know, want to up the difficulty a little bit, because I was just thrashing kids all day. Like there's an entire, you'll get to see if this video goes over like the 8-minute mark or whatever, which I'm gonna try not to make it super long. But I have just a plethora, a whole hard drive of most of my games yesterday of dropping like 20 and 30 bombs on these kids in Search and Destroy. And so I did play a little bit of Team Deathmatch, okay, but mostly a Search and Destroy guy. Back in like 2010, me and my best friend, you know, if you guys know him as Xenex, we were second in the world on game battles 2v2 in one of the seasons in 2010 for Search and Destroy 2v2. And you know, I love Call of Duty 4. You guys probably know that about. It's my favorite game of all time, especially shooters. It's very hard to compete with Halo in terms of nostalgia and like using that all-time title. But I definitely, from a multiplayer standpoint, I love the game, adore it. And this game also reminds me a little bit of a game by Nexon that you guys may know way back in the day called Combat Arms, which is still active today, of course. I think Combat Arms Reloaded, but just the movement style, and maybe it's just because it's PC in general, I'm a dork and I don't play, like, I never really got into like Counter-Strike or anything like that, but you know, just the directional movement and the jumping really reminds me of Combat Arms, although you can jump a lot higher in this game. And the entire map, not so much the mobility of the character, but the map was just designed for you to have this crazy parkour style where you can climb on like almost everything and get, like, you can get on the top of every single one of these buildings. And I wouldn't say every one, some of them are a little out of reach, but there's a way to go about getting on those big tall buildings. And I don't do that in this game because I'm running around with the SMG, but there are some gameplays where I'm using like the sniper or the AK, and I end up doing that. And you'll see there's some people that they go pretty crazy with it. I would liken it to kind of like how Fortnite, there's the memes about people building really crazy fast. That was never me. You know, I'm kind of a vanilla guy. Like, I'll jump on some stuff, but I'm not the craziest mobility guy in the world. But there's some guys that'll do like some 360s and crazy movement and angles that on here they would just, you know, run circles around me. And it's an interesting game. That's the skill gap for this particular game, if there is one. Which is, it's, you know, I think anyone can pick this up and play it. There's definitely, I don't know if anyone's just gonna pick it up and thrash, but I love the maps. Okay, I love the maps. I can't say that I played on necessarily a bad map. There are definitely some better than others. I would say this is my favorite map. It's called the Caribbean. Another map called Warehouse that's really good. It comes up in the rotation pretty often, but the rotation is really good. Even if there, you know, are some bad maps, then you know, I haven't really noticed that much because number one, I'm new, and number two, the rotation was really awesome. Another thing that's really cool about this game is you're seeing me run around with kind of like a death machine right now. It's a minigun. It's a 7 kill streak. There's a 15 kill streak that's a nuke, and I haven't unlocked anything else. I believe there's others, but I like that this is gunplay and gunfight focused, not all about the kill streaks. I like the return to the old simpleness of the, you know, first-person shooter genre that we got with the original sort of Call of Duty. And so I would encourage you, if you like that style, if you're from back in the day like me, you know, I would visit this one. It's free. You can get it on Steam. I think there's a couple other ways you can play it as well. You know, probably off of the website or Microsoft or something. But you know, I primarily played Search and Destroy. Okay, I did play a little bit of TDM. There's 3 types of, like, I wouldn't call it a game mode, but you know, basically there's Hardcore, Premier, and Combat Master. Premier gives you, like, it has like auto fire if someone gets close to your reticle. They don't offer that for Hardcore, which is what this is. And this has limited sprint, whereas the other modes don't. But you know, this was more my style. It has reduced health and has a little bit of restrictions and stuff like that. And you know, I really just enjoy the hell out of Search and Destroy. I fell in love with that back in 2009 when I discovered it. So the weapons, like I said, there's really only 3 that I can speak about. I don't really know that much about attachments. I just kind of threw whatever on that felt good to me. Like, I like the, you know, I like the little suppressors, and then I like, obviously, red dot sight is good. If, you know, it seems to be there's no limit from, like, to me there's a limit in terms of number of attachments, and you can't have more than one type of the same, you know, type of attachment. But you can have, you know, like, you can't have 2 sights on it, obviously, or 2 barrels, but you know, there's no, you can use multiple attachments. You can have like a suppressor and a red dot, which is what I've done with the, you know, those 2, the AK and the MP5 or whatever. So I couldn't tell you that much about the attachments. I just put what I liked on there, what seemed to have the best, you know, reductions and improvements or whatever, which I'm kind of like a movement guy, obviously, with this. I'm rushing a lot, and like this route here did some big damage to him. I love the routes on this game. There's so much variety in the routes and what you can do. Like, I totally could have got sniped off the rip for doing what I did here in this round, but you know, I was able to get away with it and really caught these guys off guard. They weren't expecting it. I was able to punish them for that. Now I ended up, you know, I was so pissed right there because I was like working towards having a really good score for this one. And, you know, I dropped the ball and just fumbled. I wasn't ready for that guy to come back in the door. And he ran in and then out again or whatever he did. I can't believe I fucking did that. It was pretty stupid. But, you know, kind of kicking myself for that one. And this here is going to end the game. So I'm going to pull up a sniper gameplay for you. And not just recognize that I'm not a sniper, guys. I play a barely... You know, it took me until, like, I don't know, a ton of games, and only the last, like, 5 or 10 of yesterday was as sniper. And so my reflexes were done at, you know, 5 in the morning or whenever I was about to go to sleep. And so, but yeah, I'll play that for you, you know, and we'll keep talking here. I'll just give you a little bit more insight into my thoughts on this because I didn't cover the perks or anything like that. And the perks are super important, right? And so let's check this one out. So let's make sure the sound is where it needs to be, and this one will be, I promise we'll wrap this up in about 5 minutes. So this is I don't know why. Oh yeah, so when you first spawn, there's like, it's kind of like the Fortnite loading area, so you don't, I haven't figured out, like maybe if I made the other classes my default class or my top one, it would spawn with something else, but that's irrelevant. So I love, this is the warehouse map, really love this one, love the other map as well. Those are my two favorites. In terms of the perks, I'm gonna be honest, I mainly use the default stuff. I did notice there's in the third perk slot, there's a perk that you can unlock a little ways in called sonar, which basically whenever you make a kill, it highlights really quickly all the other enemies, and it's kind of like a UAV for like 3 seconds, and it's pretty OP. It's helped me, it's definitely been responsible for me clutching it a few times. I think that it takes a little bit of the fun out of the game because I was just thrashing people, so I kind of opted to not use it anymore. But in a pinch, man, I mean, I love having a class with that on it. You know, if I gotta come back from like we're down 5 rounds or something. I did some big damage with that, with the AK. I haven't used it on the MP5 class rushing, but you know, I used it on the AK, in which I was attempting to be a little bit more methodical and watch my sight lines and distance of the firefights a little bit more. So let me grab a swig of juice here before I keep going.
Kill confirmed.
Now there was a slot, you've probably seen there was a route that I took where I went up and into that building and I dropped 2 grenades out the window when I was on defense on that last map, Caribbean, and I really loved that route. That route can be really dangerous if you don't fuck up the nades. One thing I'm not sure, I'm starting to get used to it, so I don't know if I hate it so much anymore, but it definitely causes a lot of mistakes where I kill myself with the grenade a lot. Is you have to hold down G to throw a grenade. Like, I could probably remap the buttons or whatever, but you don't just toss it or switch to your nade and then throw it separately. So like, if you just accidentally bunt it, like, you're pretty much gonna, I mean, you can get away from it and not kill yourself, but I've made a lot of mistakes with that. So there is a perk where you can get 2 nades. I found that's my favorite perk, and you know, you could argue that's pretty OP too if you have the right nade spots, but I would definitely say that you know, the sonar one is pretty OP if any of them. The middle one, I couldn't even tell you what I've been using, honestly. I just used like one of the first 2, and I think I kind of tested out the second one. But there is, in the first perk slot, the default one is like no fall damage. That one's pretty good. I ended up replacing with like the second or third one you unlock in that tier, which gives you like, you know, movement speed or like, you know, reduced faster reload time, like normal stuff like that you would use on a rushing class. And so you know, I recommend that stuff. I don't see any, like, I didn't notice that I needed the no fall damage that much when after I switched to it. I didn't notice much of a difference. I don't do anything too crazy, but you know, there could be, you know, cause to say that that would be better depending on what your playstyle is. So those are my thoughts on the perks as of right now. Like, I literally don't even know the names. I really haven't messed with it that much. I kind of liked what I grabbed and used and just kind of gravitated to that stuff. So in terms of routes, like, I've explored some of the different routes here. Like, these gameplays did not happen from me just like jumping in here and just like guessing what I should do. This is after 10 hours of me like playing it all day long and kind of figuring out what works best. Like, sometimes you can get nabbed. What I'm doing to these people off spawn here with the sniper and like kind of the routes that I chose with the SMG are like, those are pretty methodical of what I found to be like with the, you know, where I can really surprise people, where I can really get those quick picks without putting myself in so much danger that it's not worth running the route. Like, I would even pretty much repeat it with a little bit of variation the next round afterwards. And so I found that it's the good sweet spot for, you know, getting some opportunity without being too risky or dangerous. Although you probably did see I died a couple times doing some kind of silly stuff, just being a little bit too aggressive. And I think my playstyle in general, me being weak on mouse and keyboard, like me being aggressive and is a little bit is definitely risky, you know, because like sometimes my aim is just, you know, it's like a potato. And so I've never claimed to be like the best with aim or anything like that. So in terms of strategy, like, I don't know if I should get into that too much with this game here. Like, obviously, you're the sniper, use a fucking sniper like this. There was a time where I sat back here a little too long, and some people, like, tried to rush me a little bit, or they kind of knew I was going to be up here, and I think that's normal, is like, when you're playing against a sniper, I would probably do the same thing. Here's an example. It's funny, there's a guy doing that. I just caught him lacking with the knife there. You know, which I don't have a pistol on this class, I just have the knife, so, you know, obviously I wasn't going to try to no-scope that guy or whatever. This is a pretty cool game to do, like, quick scopes and no-scopes and stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I highly suggest you pick up Combat Master. It's literally free. Give it a try, play it for a few hours, and let me know what you think. If you want to see more content like this, or you just like this voice style, it's been a lot longer, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be. I kind of came out my shell. If you want to see more stuff like this, then let me know in the comments down below what you want to see. There will be more videos of Combat Master in the future, whether you like it or not. Just the extent of how much and what exactly you see will probably determine on, you know, based on what kind of feedback I get from this video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.